This is Micah chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for it is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you even with the soul destruction. I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone, and peace and salutations to the elect of the nation of Israel, starting off with 144,000, which would be the ruling governing body in the kingdom of heaven, which would be all men, 144,000. You also have a lot of the 1/3, the large multitude of believers, which would be men, women, and children to be saved in America. 2/3 of our people will be destroyed. You also have the rebels that are scattered abroad in different countries, and you have the elect that are scattered abroad that would be saved, of who the world willingly and ignorantly calls so-called black, Hispanic, Native American, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Jamaican, Haitian, going amongst the Panamanians, Cubans, right? We are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of. Contrary to what the world wants to believe. Let's click on to I am your brother, your room. You can begin showing another lesson on this foul, wicked, abominable trend going on. It says bizarre skincare trend called menstrual masking has women putting their period blood on their faces. I'm pretty sure it's probably, I didn't look it up, but it probably dates back to a heathen custom or something. It reminds me of like, I'm pretty sure, me and brothers have talked about it in the camp, looking at these damn Hamites or damn Elamites taking showers in cow piss. Now, this is menstrual bleeding from a woman, but that's disgusting. That's why the Lord calls to be separate from these other nations, man. It gotta, I believe it probably has to go back to some type of heathen custom, probably witchcraft and stuff as well. This shit is disgusting, man. That's why the Lord called us to be holy, man. He called us to be a righteous people, man. But let me see if I can find that. I believe the one I'm thinking of is in Leviticus. Let me see. Yep, Leviticus 19, and I'll start at verse 1. It says, "And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto all the congregation of the children of Israel, and say unto them, Ye shall be holy, for I, the Lord your God, am holy." Right? And that word holy goes back into being separate. We can't be like these other nations, man. We can't do the things that they do, get away with. We are the Lord's people, man. And we don't even, as Israelites, even though Jake in the world is wicked, for the most part, Jakes don't think about nasty things like this, man. This is just heathens think about doing nasty, wicked shit like that, right? That's why the Lord separated us, man. He wanted us to be the chosen people, and He allowed us to be the chosen people because He chose us, right? And us having the commandments. Let me see if I remember this right. Deuteronomy 7. Let me see. Let me see. No, I might have got mixed up. Deuteronomy 4, verse 5. It says, "Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither you go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and shall say, Surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people." Right? For what nation is there so great, who hath Yahweh so nigh unto them, as the Lord our God is in all things that we call upon Him for? You see, so the reason why we have laws and commandments and things that we abide by, or supposed to abide by, is to make it separate, right? That's what divides us from these nations. So, God loves everybody and everybody's supposed to be together. That's not in the scriptures, man. You're not going to find it anywhere. The laws were only given to the Israelites, right? It really, when you go into it, right, when your woman's on her cycle or her period, as it says, right, she's supposed to be put away from you. You ain't even supposed to, everything she touches is unclean. So this is definitely some nasty, wicked shit if she's put it on her damn face. Like, what the hell? That shit's like, who thinks of that, man? You know, you gotta have a vile, disgusting spirit to even do something like that and to be happy with it or okay with it. Right? These nations, they don't have, you know, common sense, as it were. You know, all common sense ain't common. Right? But like I said, you know, us being the Israelites, we have, even though Jake is wicked in the world, Jake knows shit's wrong. And a lot of times Jake don't do shit that's, you know, too overboard, but that's not always the case because they don't have that hedge of protection. They don't have that, you know, Holy Spirit dealing with them. So, you know, I'm pretty sure there's Jakes that do shit like this or worse. But for the most part, Jake is not doing no super, super nasty shit like that. You know? And let me go to, matter of fact, let me go to, like I said, I believe it goes back to he's a customer or some shit like that. Proverbs 3:31. It also reminded me of like something else that comes from your body, like your rectum, you know, your dung that comes from you. You got Elamites that have a damn dung festival. They throw it at each other, man. That's what it kind of reminds me of. Because you're putting that shit that comes from your body that you ain't supposed to indulge in it or fucking, you know, select it from my language or, you know, have fun with it. It's always supposed to exit your body and, you know, you got to clean up, man. This is Proverbs 3:31. It says, envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways, man. Right? You know? And let me get another one. This is Jeremiah 10:1. It says, hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus said the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. You see? But the point was, don't learn the ways of the heathen, because like I said, you have different nations, different races of people that are outside of us that do shit like this. This is their culture, man. They have bodily fluids come from them. They indulge and they eat it. They put it on their face. That shit's disgusting, man. The Lord made certain things to help with your skin or whatever else you're using it for, right? Let me see what the comments say. Yep. Somebody said witchcraft. Exactly right here. Leviticus 15:19 says, if a woman have an issue, and her issue of her flesh be blood, she should be put apart 7 days. Whosoever, let me see. It says, whosoever touches her should be unclean. And, you see that? And that's why I quoted. I knew that. But we in captivity, so we can only do so much, you know. But that's really what they're supposed to do when they're on their period. They ain't supposed to be around you. They ain't supposed to be touching anything, right? She's supposed to be put apart, away from you. But we don't live in a kingdom to where we're set up like that. And I believe, like I said, it goes back to witchcraft. I already gotta look it up, right? A lot of these weird trends where you have, like I said, bodily fluids or shit that comes from your body, this flesh, and people, you know, they use it for whatever reason they say. They definitely involved in some type of witchcraft. Let me get is that 1 Samuel? Because first of all, if you put it on your skin and you drink it and you indulge it in some type of way, you praising some other guy that don't have nothing to do with YASHAMIAHLA, because he didn't command us to do no shit like that. This is 1 Samuel 15 and 23. It says, for rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness as iniquity and idolatry, because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord. He hath also rejected thee from being king. So if you don't listen to the Most High, it's basically, you a witch, right? And let's go to Exodus 22 and 18, right? I can quote what it says, but I'm gonna just read it. It says, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. So people that's indulging in this type of shit, they probably don't think it's that deep if they're clinging on to the trend, but it is that deep, right? You ain't supposed to be doing no shit like that. You're supposed to be put to death. What else are you doing? You know? A lot of people that's doing this they need to be put out the earth, man. But we live under the rulership of the wicked Esau, Edom. They indulge in this type of shit, and they do even worse. They drink it and eat it, and you know, do all other things with it. So we're not surprised that this is a thing going on. This been going on, you know. So it's just mainstream, but you know, that's why we gotta get the hell up out of here, man. This shit's sick. You know. I just want to do a quick lesson on this real quick. I came across and I was like, man, what the hell? You know. But how much more I shall destroy this place soon. Above above. Right? We need YAHSHAWAR to return so we can, at least he need to go into captivity. This day ain't getting saved, man. You know, that's been a big topic the last week or so because of these niggas, Genesis, talking about the nations can be saved. They're not going to be saved, you know. But that's not what this video is about. But, you know, the Lord called us to be separate. We ain't supposed to be doing no shit like this. You got ceremonial laws. You got sacrificial laws. You got civil laws. You got moral laws. Right? This has nothing to do with, you know, you being civil or moral. Nothing. You know? The Lord called us to be holy, man. That's why I brought that out first. Right? This doesn't make you holy. This is the complete opposite. Right? This makes you abominable. This makes you, you know, a witch. Right? And, yeah, I'm going to close out, though. You know, like I said, I didn't want this video to be too long. So I hope this video is edifying to the sheep, edifying to the flock. Hey, keep the faith, Jake. You know, I know a lot of things are getting hectic. The Lord has his elect, you know, as we get further and further into Jacob's trouble and the more weird and weird shit we see. Hey, it is what it is. It got to happen. So, with that, we'll close out. We'll give our honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashir, Yahushai, Bahashir, Kakodash. Double honors to the elders of the Great Millstone. Till next time, I want to say, Bye, Shalom.